Dear first prep, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. It's Mr. Ahmed Mahmoud with you today to introduce a new mathematics lesson. Today, inshallah, we have Geometry Unit 3 Lesson 4. The lesson is called Special Cases of the Parallelogram. In this lesson, inshallah, we are going to learn the rectangle, the rhombus, and the square, and we are going to study their properties as we studied in the 6th primary, but we are going to use the proof way to solve their problems. Let's start the lesson. First, we start with the rectangle. Okay, the definition of the rectangle is a parallelogram with a right angle. So, the rectangle originally is a parallelogram like this. And if this parallelogram, if I make change in one of its angle to change from acute to be right, okay, so the whole shape will be changed like this. Again, if I have a parallelogram and I make change in one of its angles to make it right, so the whole parallelogram will be changed, so it will be changed into rectangle. So I can say that the rectangle is originally a parallelogram, so the rectangle included all the properties of parallelogram. What does it mean, Mr. Ahmed? It means if AB equals 3, so DC equals 3. If AD equals 5, so BC equals 5. So I can say that the opposite sides of the rectangle are equal in length like the parallelogram. Also the opposite sides are parallel. Also the diagonals bisect each other, and so on. All the properties of the parallelogram included here in the rectangle. But the rectangle is a special case from the parallelogram. So the rectangle has his special properties like this. The first property in the parallelogram, in the rectangle, okay, its angles are right. All its angles are right. Here angle C is right, and B, A, and D also are right, as you see. Okay, so all angles of rectangle are right. This is a special case for the rectangle. Also, the diagonals of the rectangle are equal in length. The diagonals of parallelogram are not equal, but they bisect each other. Here, the diagonals of the rectangle are bisect each other, and also they are equal in length. For example, if AC equal 10 centimeters, so BD also equal 10 centimeters. And this is the special cases or the properties of the rectangle. And we say that the rectangle originally is a parallelogram. Now let's study the rhombus, the second shape, which is called the rhombus. The rhombus is also a special case from the parallelogram, is a parallelogram which two adjacent sides are equal in length. What does it mean, Mr. Ahmed? If we have a parallelogram like this, okay, we know that the parallelogram, for example, if AB equals 3, so DC equals 3. If AD equals 5, so BC equals 5. We see that here, what will happen if I make all sides equal 3? Again, okay, what will happen if I make all sides, if I make two adjacent sides like AB and BC, again, AB and BC. What will happen if I make AB 3 and BC also equal 3? It will be like this. So now AB equals 3, BC equals 3, okay, and CD equals 3, and AD equals 3. That will happen if I make two adjacent sides are equal, so the whole sides are equal, so the shape will be changed from parallelogram into rhombus. So the rhombus is a parallelogram in which two adjacent sides as AB and BC are equal in length. Okay, now I'm going to rotate the rhombus, okay, to be as usual. Okay, the usual rhombus, okay, we used to be like this. Okay, now let's study the properties of the rhombus. Okay, the rhombus, like the rectangle, has all the properties of parallelogram plus its own private properties like this. The property number 1, the four sides are equal in length. As I said, if AB equals 3, AD equals 3, CD equals 3, and BC equal 3. That's for example. Okay, now the diagonals, okay, the diagonals of the rectangle of the rhombus are perpendicular. Are perpendicular means what? There is a right angle between the two diagonals, but they are perpendicular and not equal. Again, they are perpendicular and not equal, and also bisect its interior angle. What does it mean? For example, if angle A equals 60, so the diagonal of the rhombus divide this angle into 30 and 30 like this. Also, angle C equals 60, so it will divide it into 30 and 30. So we get the four angles here are equal in length. This is because of the diagonal which divides the angle. Also, if angle D equal 120 and angle B equal 120, the diagonal bisect the angle to make it 60 and 60, and here B also 60 and 60. So we get the four angles around this diagonal are equal in length. So again, the four sides of the rhombus are equal in length. The diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular and not equal. The diagonals of rhombus bisect its interior angles. Okay, now let's go to the square. The square also is a parallelogram, but we do two changes in the parallelogram with a right angle and two adjacent sides are equal in length. Okay, now if we have a parallelogram like this, okay, what if I make angle C right angle? If I made angle C right angle like this, right angle, and if I make the sides equal to adjacent sides equal, if this side equal 3 and this side equal 5, 3 and 5. Now if I made the two adjacent sides 3 and 3, okay, and in the same time I change angle C to be right angle, so the parallelogram will be like this. Will it change? Okay, to be like this, in which all its sides are equal and all its angles are right. So the square is a parallelogram in which I did two changes: change in the angles, make it right, and change in the sides, make it equal. So the properties of the square. The square now included all the properties of parallelogram, rectangle, and rhombus. Okay, like the rectangle, the parallelogram, each two opposite sides are equal and each two opposite angles are equal, the diagonal bisect each other, and so on. Okay, now the properties of square. Number 1, all its sides are equal in length like the rhombus. All its angles are right like the rectangle. The diagonals are equal in length like the rectangle. The diagonals are perpendicular, okay, like the rhombus, and also the diagonal bisect its two vertices angle like the rhombus. For example, if angle A is 90, so the diagonal bisect this angle to be 45 and 45. Also, angle B will divided 45, 45, also C, also D. Now, again, all sides are equal, all angles are right, the diagonals equal, the diagonals perpendicular, the diagonal bisect its angles. This is the properties of the square. Now, okay, I make a summary for what we have studied. We have a parallelogram. This parallelogram will be changed to rectangle like this if we have one of two properties: if its angles are right or its diagonals are equal in length. Again, if we have a change in the parallelogram and we make the angles right, it will be changed to be rectangle. If we make its diagonals equal, it will be rectangle. Also, the parallelogram change to be rhombus. If I make its number one, its four sides are equal in length, or if I make its diagonals perpendicular. Again, the parallelogram, if I change its sides to be equal, it will be rhombus. If I change its diagonal to be perpendicular, it will be rhombus. Now, the rectangle can be changed into square. What? Okay, how? If I change its four sides to be equal, or if I change its diagonals to be perpendicular. Again, the rectangle, if its four sides are equal, change into square, and if the two diagonals are perpendicular, it will be changed to be square. Also, the rhombus can be rectangle if I change its angles to be right, or if I change its diagonals to be equal in length. Okay, finally, how can I change the parallelogram into square? To change the parallelogram into square, so I need to make two changes. Okay, make, for example, its angles right and all its sides are equal, and so on. Okay, this is a very important summary. You can make a screenshot for this one and study this one. Okay, now let's solve the problems. Example 1 with us, it's a complete question. Number 1, a parallelogram whose diagonals are perpendicular. If the is called what? If we change the diagonals of parallelogram to make it perpendicular, it will be changed into rhombus. Number 2, the parallelogram whose two diagonals are what is a rectangle. What is the change if we make in the parallelogram, in the diagonals of parallelogram, to be a rectangle if I make its diagonals equal? Number 3, the parallelogram whose two diagonals are equal in length and perpendicular. Okay, the diagonals of parallelogram, if they are equal, it will be rectangle. If they are perpendicular, it will be rhombus. But if we are equal and perpendicular, it will be square. Number 4, the quadrilateral whose sides are equal in length is, what is the quadrilateral whose sides are equal in length? Okay, we have two shapes, square and rhombus. But here he didn't, he just said the sides. He didn't said the sides and the angles. So I will choose the little one, which is the rhombus. Okay. Okay, number 5, the quadrilateral whose diagonals bisect each other. Okay, the diagonals bisect each other in the parallelogram, in the rectangle, in the square, in the rhombus. But here he just said the diagonal bisect each other. Okay, so I will say the parallelogram. The rectangle is what with a right angle? Again, the rectangle is what? What is the original of rectangle? The rectangle is a parallelogram in which we make its angles is right. So the answer here is parallelogram. The square is what with a right angle? Okay, if I make change to parallelogram and make its angle is right, so it will be changed into rectangle. Okay, so if I make change to the rectangle and I make the angle is right, so it will still rectangle. But if I have a rhombus and I make its angle right, so it will be changed into square. So the answer here is rhombus. Now the rhombus is what in which the diagonals are perpendicular. What is the shape if I make its diagonal perpendicular change into rhombus? Okay, the rectangle never change into rhombus. Okay, and the square never change into rhombus. Okay, because the square has properties more than the rhombus, but the parallelogram, if I make its diagonals perpendicular, it will be rhombus. This sign means parallelogram, okay? The rhombus whose two diagonals are equal in length. Okay, if I make the rhombus, if I change its diagonals to be equal, so it will be changed into square. The rectangle in which two diagonals are perpendicular. If I change the diagonals of the rectangle to be perpendicular, it will be changed into square. The rhombus whose perimeter 42. We know that the sides of the perimeter are equal. So the side equal what? The side equal 42 divided by 2, which is equal 10.5. Now example 2. In this example, choose the correct answer. The two diagonals of rectangle are. Okay, the diagonals of rectangle, they are not perpendicular. Equal in length. Yes, it's equal in length. Okay. Number 2, the diagonals of rhombus are perpendicular and not equal. Okay. Example, the rest of example 2. ABCD is a rhombus if A, C, B equal 32. Okay, now I'm going to draw a rhombus like this. A, B, C, D. Okay, measure of angle ACB equal 32. ACB equal 32. So also angle ACD equal 32. Now I need measure of angle D. Measure of angle D equal what? Equal 180 minus open brackets 32 plus 32 equals 116. So this is choice number C. Now ABCD is a square. Measure of angle CAB equal what? Okay, CAB is the angle between the diagonal and the side. It is equal 45 degrees. Okay, you can draw this square like this. A, B, C, D, and CAB will be like this. Okay, CAB here 45 degrees. Now let's start with example 3. In the opposite figure, ABCD is a rectangle in which AC equals 6, CD equal 2, AC intersect BD at M. Complete the following. Okay, first we have here ABCD rectangle. As we see, we know that in the rectangle the diagonals are equal. So here he asked me about AB, the length of AB. Okay, the length of CD equal 2 centimeters, so AB equal 2 centimeters. DM equal what? DM, because AC equal 6 centimeters, so BD equal also 6 centimeters, and it means DM equal 3 and BM equal 3. Also MC equal 3, AM equal 3. So DM equal 3 centimeters. The perimeter of triangle ABM equals 3 plus 3 plus 2 equals 3 plus 3, 6 plus 2 equals 8 centimeters. And now let's start example 4. In this example, we have here ABCD is a rhombus in which AC intersect BD at M. Okay, the intersection of the diagonals, it is M. H belongs to AB, okay, such that MH perpendicular to AB. MH perpendicular to AB, it means here we have 90 degrees angle. Okay, calculate the measures of angles of the rhombus. Okay, first I will found measure of angle HAM. HAM equal 180 minus 90 plus 90, because AHM is a triangle. So angle HAM, or angle, this part of angle A, equal 180 minus 90 plus 32 equals 58. So this angle equal 58. So the other part of angle A also equal 58. So this angle C also equal 58 and 58, because the diagonal bisect its angles. Okay, now since sum of triangle AMH equal 180 degrees, therefore measure of angle HAM equal 180 degrees minus open brackets 90 plus 32 equals 58 degrees. Okay, therefore since AC is a diagonal, AC is a diagonal, in the rhombus ABCD, therefore measure of angle BAD equals 58 times 2 equals 116 degrees. Therefore measure of angle BCD equal 116 degrees. Here angle A equal 116, so angle C also equal 116. Therefore measure of angle ABC equal 180 minus 116 equal 64 degrees. angle B equals 64. Therefore, measure of angle ADC equal 64 degrees because they are opposite angles. Now let's study example 5. In this example, ABCD a square, as we see here. Okay, E belongs to BC ray. That means that BCE is a straight angle. Okay, and AC parallel to DE. Number one, prove that ACED is a parallelogram. ACED is a parallelogram. Okay, without highlighting this one, it's very clear. Here we have AC and DE are parallel. So what I need to prove that AD parallel to EC, and then we get H2 opposite sides are parallel. Okay, it's very easy. How come? Because ABCD is a square, therefore AD is parallel to BC. And since BC and EC on the same straight line, so also AD parallel to EC. Okay, now AD parallel to EC and AC parallel to ED, therefore the shape is a parallelogram. Here the shape I mean ADEC. Okay, now I'm going to write what I am explained. Since A B C D is a square, therefore AD parallel to BC. Okay, therefore AD is parallel to EC, because when I say BC and EC, they are on the same straight line. Okay, this is the first requirement. And since AC parallel to DE, so we get that AD parallel to EC and AC parallel to DE, therefore H2 opposite sides are parallel in the quadrilateral, therefore each two opposite sides in A, D, E, C are parallel, therefore A, D, E, C is a parallelogram. Okay, this is the first required. The second required, find the measure of angle ACE. ACE, this angle. Okay, now because DC perpendicular to BC, so this angle is right because of the square. Okay, and the diagonal of the square bisect the angle into two halves, so this angle ACD equals 45. Okay, now angle ACE equals 45 plus 90 equals 135. Okay, so also since AC is a diagonal of a square, ABCD. Therefore, measure of angle ACD equals 45 degrees, and therefore DC, measure of angle DCE equals 90 degrees. Therefore, measure of angle ACE equal 45 degrees plus 90 equals 135 degrees. Okay, now let's study example 6. In this example, we have ABCD is a square. Its diagonal intersect at M, as we see. E belong to AC and F belong to AC, in which AE equal to CF. Okay, prove that EBDF is a rhombus. EBDF or FD is a rhombus. Okay, actually I can't prove that this shape is a rhombus direct. First, I'm going to prove that this shape is a parallelogram, and then I'm going to prove that the parallelogram is a rhombus. Okay, how come? First, how can I prove this shape is a parallelogram? Okay, because ABCD is a square, so its diagonals bisect each other and its diagonals are perpendicular. Okay, first, its diagonals are perpendicular, so there is a right angle here. Okay, and now AC and BD bisect each other, therefore BM equal to DM. Okay, and AM equal to MC. Since AE equal to CF and AM equal to MC, therefore ME equal to MF. Again, since A, B, C, D is a square, therefore A, M equal to CM, and since AE equal to CF, now by subtract. How come? By making a minus like this. Okay, please answer me. AM minus AE. Again, AM minus AE equal ME. So ME here. In the other side, CM minus CF. CM minus CF equal MF. So they are equal. Now I proved that ME equal to MF, and since MB equal to MD, therefore each it's better to say that the diagonals bisect each other, therefore the diagonals of EBFD bisects each other, therefore EBFD is parallelogram. But he need to prove that it is a rhombus. Okay, if we have a parallelogram in which its diagonals are perpendicular, so this parallelogram is a rhombus, okay? Since EF perpendicular to BD, therefore EBFD is a rhombus. And this is the end of the lesson. I hope it was helpful for you. See you inshallah in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Mr. Ahmed Mahmoud was with you.